What simple, daily habit changed your life? Daily run. I run every other decade. Damn. You training for a marathon or something? Making a to-do list or using a to-do app changed my grades completely, reduced stress and sorted my life. What apps do you recommend? I would like others could add stuff to my list one day. I use an actual paper notebook. You can use a full-size one or something smaller. It's always with me, and even being able to cross off mundane things like shower is a great positive feedback system. Drinking enough water. I drink a tall glass right after getting up, one right before going to sleep, and over the day I drink a tall water bottle, 1.5 to 2 L. My skin is better. I get up faster in the morning, mostly because I have to pee. I feel way more energetic all through the day. This one is great. I have been making an effort to drink enough water the last few months and have noticed a significant improvement in how I feel and function. Right? And it honestly isn't hard to do so. Once you have a little bit of routine. For me that's having the water bottle around wherever I am. It actually got a habit, rather than something I had to remind myself of. Just writing a few hundred words a day for my stories. Sometimes I get discouraged that I can't churn out 2,000 or 3,000 words most of the time. But just sticking with my minimum has let me finish several novels in the last 4 years. Not that I make life-changing money from them, but writing is a hobby that makes me the happiest. What kind of novels do you write? Fantasy/sci-fi stuff. Though right now I'm brainstorming a much more grounded story about a group of young adult friends while trying to finish my latest novel. Funny enough, doing workout stretches every morning. It makes you feel more ready and the cracks of every body part after a good night's sleep are so satisfying to hear. I accidentally Pavloved myself out of this habit when I moved because I kept forgetting there was a ceiling fan, and getting my fingers whacked every morning was the exact opposite of a good morning. But I might have to try and reinstate this. Consider doing it somewhere other than directly below the fan. Looking in front of you when you walk. Stop looking at the ground. Great confidence boost. But what about the awkwardness when you're walking and someone else is walking towards you? Where do you look if not at the ground? I look past them. I keep a journal to record my days/thoughts. It helps deal with all the pressures in my life as I can tell someone my stuff without having to actually tell anyone. Aren't you worried someone will read it later? I lost my journal and I can't remember if I threw it away or if someone in my family found it and kept it. It stressed me out for a while, but duck it. Everyone has emotions. Who gives a shit if they see? Prep for the next day. The night before, I put my clothes out, sort whatever I am taking with me if I need to go out, and as a last thing grind coffee for the morning. I'm almost never in a rush now, even when I'm really busy, and it just helps knowing that the daily stress of what to wear and holy shit, where did all the socks go etc is all taken care of. Don't forget to also lay out some bacon on your George Foreman grill next to your bed. You can then wake up for a quick rollover to turn on the grill and go back to bed. Then you can wake up again to the smell of crackling bacon. This sounds like it must be part of some inside joke or something. In fact, I love inside jokes. I'd love to be a part of one someday. Edit. How have multiple people replied to tell me it's from The Office while not realizing that my comment itself is a reference to The Office? I do a 15-minute core workout almost every night. Pretty much cured my back problems. Can you elaborate on the workout? I have sex with many women. Greeting people I pass by. This may be a bit dark/off topic. But whatever. I once read about this man who, in his suicide note, said that he would walk across Golden Gate Bridge, and if one person smiled at him, he wouldn't jump. He jumped. Ever since then I try to smile at and non-creepily compliment as many people as possible. Some find it weird, but the people who need it, need it. Plus, just a few words can change your life. Many years ago, when I was in middle school, I was heavily contemplating suicide. Though I was only 12, I fucking hated my life. had unrecognized PTSD, and was bullied by both student and staff. I even had a teacher jokingly tell me to kill myself. No one would talk to me, as I rarely showered, would wear shitty clothes, never did any work, religiously skipped class, etc. Well, after my English class one day, this girl, I vividly remember her name and everything, just talked to me as I walked to class. We had to part ways less than 2 minutes of chatting, but I was eternally grateful. It took me several days to muster up the courage, but I wrote her a thank you note and left it in her locker. It really is the little things. I salute you for your service, my good sir. Edit. The suicide was of a man, not a woman. Hey, just passing by. Making my bed in the morning, especially during my worst depression times, cause I would feel like a useless piece of shit, waste of oxygen in the world, but making the bed makes the room feel more clean, and that helps you feel a bit more productive, and then you're less useless. Also, if at the end of the day you didn't do shit, everything went wrong, you can look at your room and say, hey, at least I made my bed. I second this. Standing and walking straight just feels better, and some people will notice it. Makes you look more confident, and most importantly, it avoided me getting a bad scoliosis. It's not that hard, honestly, you just need to take the habit. I have recently tried working on standing straight after noticing how bad I was slouching in photos. Honestly, it looked awful. Have you got any tips on forming the habit? I'm struggling sometimes because I get terrible backache after trying to work on my posture. You don't have to make a drastic change to your posture, you know. You can change it over time. Stand slightly straight and with your shoulders slightly back and work on it slowly if it hurts your back. I did this posture change when I was 15, currently 17, so I guess my body was less reluctant to such change. Making a mental list of what I was going to do that day made sure I always got off my ass and did something, even if it would have been a lazy Sunday, and I always feel better for it. How do you find the motivation to make sure you do what you plan to? I just tell myself I have to do it, I guess. I once saw a quote on Reddit that said there's no such thing as motivation, only discipline. Might be a bit over the top, but the quote works for me. I just think of that quote when I'm lazing around, like I don't want to do X, and it's kind of enough to force myself off the sofa and into action. Not looking at your phone at all before going to bed. The brightness of your phone keeps you awake. Falling asleep goes so much smoother. This drives me nuts. My G/F used to spend half an hour on her phone before going to sleep, and I'd have to somehow avoid the glare. I'm thankful for dark mode on the newer phones. Closing the dang door. Haven't people ever heard of closing the goddamn door? It's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of close a door and rationality. Go to bed early to get up at dawn. Walking at dawn allows you to think about your actions, look at life from different angles, and draw conclusions. The main thing is to walk alone. When you return home, you are full of strength and motivation to do something. Laziness remains in bed. I have actually been trying this, but struggle to fall asleep and even more to get out of bed in the morning. Try setting your alarm clock and placing it as far away from the bed as possible. You have to walk physically strain to turn off the alarm, and the sleepiness will go away. To be faithful, you can also put a glass of water next to the alarm clock. It refreshes. Putting my phone on airplane mode before going to sleep. This habit significantly saves me from severe stress. How so? Exactly. You don't get any notifications at all, which mean you don't check your phone. It does work. Think twice before I speak. This made me miss a lot of opportunities to speak, but also made me realize that most people don't give a shit whether or not you say anything. Most people only care about being heard. Wish to eventually apply this online as well. Honestly, this observation is one of the things that led me to action. Most people don't really listen. They're just waiting for their turn to speak. 15 minutes of light yoga every morning and evening. I work an office job and used to have so much back, neck and shoulder pain because I was sitting all day. Now I can move pain free and I have more range in my movement that I had in my 20s. Which poses do you do? I recently started doing this and cat/cow poses, cobra, child's pose, pigeon, and a simple forward bend, touch your toes, have been working wonders for me. A 15 minutes exercise regime 3 times a week. Around 10 years back I was experiencing plummeting immunity and stamina in spite of healthy eating and supplements. By chance I stumbled on Prevention magazine in the bookshop. This issue demonstrated this 15 MTS exercise regime thrice a week with the claim that it would boost immunity, improve stamina, burn calories. I began with it and yes, it did all the things it claimed. Losing 4 inches of waist in 6 weeks was a pleasant side effect. Since then I have been advising people to exercise thrice a week if they don't have the inclination or willpower to work out daily. Is it just any regime, i.e. the main takeaway is just to get moving, or a specifically recommended one? It was a regime of 5 exercises: step up, sit ups, mountain climbing, side lunges, push ups. Each exercise had to be done for 1 mount. After 1 set, 1 mount, rest, then repeat 2 times more with 1 mount, rest in between. So initially these 5 exercises had to be done 3 times. After a few weeks they could be increased to 5 sets, which I never did. Before the exercises 5 MTS warm up by walking. Variations of sit-ups and push-ups were given for beginners. Always do something today to put yourself in better stead/preparedness for tomorrow. Can be as simple as making lunch the day before, ironing a week's load of shirts on Sunday. A little extra effort is appreciated by your future self, and those things soon become habit and you'll grow with continual reflection of where you were. This was my big change, too. I always think, what can I do today to make tomorrow better/less stressful? Future me constantly thanks myself for being so thoughtful. Compliment yourself every day to help boost esteem. Celebrate little victories, i.e. shower, went outside, drank water, etc. Close bracket. I don't know if you're just trying to appease all your respondents or are actually taking all the advice you can and put it to action. If it's the former, cool. If it's the latter, then pace yourself. Motivation is real and it comes from want. Discipline is the driver of momentum. If you want to make improvements in your life, prioritize them. There are no wrong answers here. Just line up a few and run with it and make a plan to execute. Also, you are worth it. You are worth the effort, the pain, the misery and the victory of change. And it will feel so good and will improve your life and your future and all your relationships. But you have to commit to the change and make it happen. For me, I convinced myself that I want to be doing this. It's 4:30 AM and I want to get up. I want to drink my water. I want to be at the gym. Whatever, I just tell myself I want to be doing this. The motivation will help to execute your plan for improvement. The discipline will help fight off the inevitable negative force that tries to stop us from being who we want to be. Go for it. Go be your best you and don't accept anything else because you are worth it. Just wanted to say thank you for this, friend. I really needed that push right now. Think of something I'm grateful for before getting out of bed. I'm grateful that I didn't wet my bed. Oh, how I wish I could slap an award on this. A glass of water before and after sleep. After sleep? How do you do that? By drinking after you wake up. Getting up at 5 AM in the morning and following a good exercise regime completely changed my life. I felt healthy and less lethargic. Oh boy, I wake up at 5:30 AM every weekday to exercise, and it's kicking my butt. Either I have to take a quick nap before leaving the house, and by evening I'm dead. How do you stay energized all day? 1 minute planks every day. Builds back and core strength, and now I walk and sit up straight. Try to get a good night's sleep at least a few days a week. The results are amazing. Brushing my teeth twice a day. Deleting social media. But Reddit? You can keep Reddit only if you look at like dogs all ducking day. Only place to go to avoid extreme sadness. Well, I only started this recently, but I think it's helping me a lot. It's an app called Habitica, and it lets you add daily tasks to do and habits to encourage your break. When you complete these tasks, the app rewards a tiny virtual character with health, EXP, coins and levels when you complete them. It's honestly pretty great. Would recommend to anyone needing some structure in their lives. Putting the pressure not on yourself, but on something that isn't real helps. Replacing the cravings. I always crave for something sweet after dinner. Some snacks in the afternoon. I wasn't able to suppress cravings, so I just replaced the 1. Desserts with fruits 2. Sugar with honey jaggery 3. Coffee with plain milk or milk with turmeric 4. Cold drinks with cold lemon water and many more. How's replacing coffee with milk helpful? I was slowly developing addiction towards coffee. The amount of coffee required was increasing day by day, so I just replaced it with turmeric. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.